Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to do a little bit of a different thing. We have the YouTube channel of Yassin here, Yassin656, if you're wondering who we are watching today. And here's a new video, Tier 0, yep, Konami just ruined Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously referring to the new Gimmick Puppet stuff that has been released, or not released, but revealed for Infinite Forbidden, the new core set that will come to the OCG in, I don't know, a few months, I guess, maybe 1 or 2. And obviously a Gimmick Puppet, this is an old archetype. Here we already have cards like this in the game, most notably the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare that is enabling the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare lock with Branded Way. Opponent cannot special summon monsters when you put this onto his field via Albion, the Sanctifier Dragon. But as you can see, there are a lot of Gimmick Puppet cards here, and we have new cards, and the hype around these new cards is quite big. So what I want to do today, because I have not taken a look at these new cards here, I want to go over to Yassin here, and I have seen that he has made a video with combo guides talking about the new stuff. I want to watch this together with you, and obviously have this open beside the video so we can go and take a look at the cards if we want to understand them in more depth. So if you want to join me on this journey, basically, then you are obviously welcome. Let's hop over, and obviously, as I already said, it's Justin here, Justin656, really nice YouTuber, one of my favorite ones when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! Content in general. I always watch his stuff. As you can see, I also watch Jesse Cotton and stuff. So just a shout out to the guy, really a cool guy, makes nice videos. So let's just hop right in and let's see what he has to tell us here. We will put this on 1 to 5. We have to see whether this is
going on, guys. This is Yassin, and I'm not even gonna lie to you guys.
Oh, it's Yassin. Yassin. Okay.
I had the trouble sleeping yesterday because I was too busy figuring out some new combos for Gimmick Puppet. The new support is...
And I mean, shout outs to the guy, right? He's like staying up the whole night figuring out some combos here so he can show this in the video. This is like really amazing. I will put this on a little more tier so we can see it better, I guess.
To the point where I think I can safely say it might be the next Tier 0 deck. And I know I've said this a few times in the past and I was wrong. This deck...
As you do when putting like thumbnails, you always have to overhype it a bit.
Is actually terrifying because it's more consistent than pure Snake Eyes, and it can play literally the exact same amount of non-engine cards. Like, I mean, I'm playing billions of hand traps as well as some other good cards going second. So it's kind of scary, and in a world where people...
I talked about this in the past. You can see the video up in the right corner as the new hand trap heavy format arrives, especially with the Tenpai Dragon stuff, which the deck is able to play like 25 hand traps. You can take a look at this. I made a video about this in the top right corner. I have linked it there.
Correctly, you can easily benefit off of that, and you can also kind of break boards going second. You can do a lot more than people think. I think this deck gets a bad rep because it's especially played by casual players, fans of the anime. I mean, I'm a fan of Gimmick Puppet myself. It's in my top 5 favorite decks, which is the reason why I spend so long figuring out combos on this deck. I slept at 6 AM.
I don't know when the Gimmick Puppet stuff first came out, so I have no... at that time I wasn't playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, so I'm very interested in seeing
and even today, I kept figuring out combos until this very moment where I decided to film this video because I was way too excited. I felt like I had to share everything that I figured out with you guys. But yeah, this is a great day for me, and hopefully it's going to be a great day for you as well. Once I show you these 5 combos as well as deck profile.
5 combos, crazy.
But also, before we go any further, I would really appreciate if you can smash the like and subscribe button. This time, even more important than usual, because if we can get 1,000 likes on this video, I will be doing the exact same thing as I've done in my Raid Raptor video.
Let's just take a quick look at the deck list, because he talked about... I have to watch some ads here, but he talked about being able to play a lot of hand traps, so that's something I definitely want to take a look at and actually count how many hand traps he has here. So we have triple nip, we have the hand traps are here. It's like 12, 15. This is also non-engine. 18. This looks normal to me, to be honest. It's like it's 12, 15, it's 18. It's not that crazy. That's okay.
Where I show every single possible combo featuring every single hand trap. You really don't want to miss it. So make sure you smash the like and subscribe button. This is going to be the next deck that you will probably play at a big event when it gets released. And it is legal for any WCQ. So keep that into consideration. It's an Infinite Forbidden, which is July 19, if I recall correctly. Anyways, with that out of the way...
So July 19th for the TCG. That is early.
Let's get right into it. All right, so first things first, everybody knows that the deck has 1 card FTKs, but this deck is not just a gimmick for FTKs. Yes, I know this was done on purpose. It can do more than just FTK, and it doesn't always necessarily need the field spell to FTK. Keep that in mind,
new
right?
one, right?
Because the field spell is kind of like a cheat card. The card is insane. It is the best card I've ever read probably in my life. On activation, it searches any Gimmick Puppet monster from your deck to your hand. That's already good. And then all of your Gimmick Puppet monsters are indestructible by battle and unaffected by your opponent's activated non-Xyz monster effects.
What?
So Valor, Mourner, how about no? So a 1-card FTK can still work through Valor and Mourner. And then you can also detach an Xyz monster from a monster that you control to revive back a Gimmick Puppet monster in your graveyard to your opponent's field, which is very relevant. So all three effects are insanity.
Okay, let's read it together here, because so field spell card, obviously this is always nice. When this card is activated, you can add one Gimmick Puppet monster from your deck to your hand. This is nice. Obviously it would have been better to have a Gimmick Puppet card being added to the hand, but we have monster here, that's also fine. Gimmick Puppet monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, they are unaffected by your opponent's activated non-X or Z monster effects. This is obviously quite strong. So a Zeus would work once per turn. So you have to remove the mention first, right? Once per turn, you can detach one X or Z material from a monster you control, then target one Gimmick Puppet monster in your graveyard, special summon it to your opponent's field in defense position once per turn. Once per turn. There's not a quick effect, or am I missing something here? So I cannot activate it on my opponent's turn, so I cannot give him the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. Is this right? But let's see.
This card is custom made.
But yeah,
it was a Gimmick Puppet fan who designed this card. I would have loved to say that it was me. Anyways, you're going to be searching the Little Soldiers with this card. This card was actually teased on the artwork of Grinder Golem, Giant Grinder. Now you normal summon Little Soldiers and you foolish the Bloody Doll for cost in order to make it level 8. So again, even if you get impermed, you are still going to be resolving it to send the Bloody Doll. So that's actually really cool. And then that's going to...
Oh, because it can't be impermed, right? It can't be effect Veiled. You're going to kind of opponent's activated. Okay, so it cannot be effect Veiled this one. We are searching this one, the Gimmick Puppet Little Soldiers, level 4 Dark Machine effect monster under 0/0. If the artwork is just crazy. This card is normal or special summon. You can send one Gimmick Puppet monster of a different level from your deck to the graveyard. This card's level becomes that ascends monster. You can only use this effect once per turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target up to 2 Gimmick Puppet monsters you control, increase their level by 4. Okay, cool. So we are doing like level 8 stuff here. So this is level 8, this is level 8, and a lot of the other ones are level 4, I guess. Then we are also seeing this card, so let's just quickly read this. Sending this to the graveyard, if this card is in your hand, you can reveal one Gimmick Puppet XYZ monster in your extra deck, special summon both one Gimmick Puppet monster from your deck with a level equal to the revealed monster's rank and this card. Okay, so which is obviously nice because you can reveal level 8, then get a level 8 to the field. So for example, this guy here, and then also this one. So then you can go for a level 8 play, which level 8 XYZs are very strong. Same with the Horus engine. Maybe they work together, who knows. You can add this card to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra turn activated either of this card's effect except the Gimmick Puppet monsters, which I guess it's okay. But it's
recycling itself back.
It comes back to the hand. Why does it come back to the hand? This one, right? Why does it come back to the hand?
You're going to be revealing the rank 8, so special summon.
Wait, what have I missed here?
For cost in order to make it level 8. So again, even if you get impermed, you are still going to be resolving it to send the Bloody Doll. So that's actually really cool. And then that's going to be recycling itself back, and then you're going...
Huh? What? Am I stupid? Have I misread? If this card is sent to the graveyard, expect from the hand, you can add this card to your hand. Okay.
To be revealing the rank 8, so special summon.
The other one I talked about, yeah.
Cattle Scream, you are locked under Gimmick Puppet monsters only.
Okay, let's quickly do the Cattle Scream, also a level 8. That's obvious. Can detach one XYZ material from a monster you control, special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. Nice, but banish it when it leaves the field. Okay, can only use this once. The Gimmick Puppet XYZ has this effect once per turn. You can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to their field in defense position. So this can summon the lock. Okay, very interesting, very nice.
Only. So don't go thinking that you can splash some
3 level 8s
like Horus or Theron King Regulus. You can't do.
Okay, we are locked into. You can special monster from the extra deck the turn you accept Gimmick Puppet. You can deal Gimmick Puppet. So he talks about not being able to use Horus stuff, but with the Horus stuff, yeah, we cannot access any other rank 8s, right? So we have to access the Gimmick Puppet stuff. Okay, that makes sense.
Do any of that, unfortunately, but it's all good in the hood. Pure Gimmick Puppet.
It's all good in the hood.
So yeah, now you're going to be overlaying these 2 monsters in order to make the Phantasix Machina. You can detach material to...
Okay, let's read the guy. We are, the artwork is insane. 2 level 8 monsters, 1/5/3/1. You can detach material from this card at 1 rank up. Magic spell from your deck to your hand, also doing so the Raid Raptor stuff. Also doing your main phase this turn, you can normal summon one machine monster in addition to your normal monsters. Okay, these are machines, I guess. Machine, and the other ones then probably also. If a special summon Gimmick Puppet XYZ monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard to either field in defense position. Then you can add 1 rank up from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, nice. So we're adding the rank up spell here.
Search a rank up magic spell card from your deck to your hand. And also during your main phase this turn, you can normal summon 1 extra machine monster in addition to your normal summoner set. So that's actually really nice in this deck. And then if you special summon a Gimmick Puppet Xyz monster, you can revive itself back from your field, either from the grave, either to your field or your opponent's field, and then you recycle back a rank of magic from a spell card from your graveyard to your hand. So literally every single effect about this card is insane as well. Anyways, we're going to be searching the Argent Chaos Force, which is like the best rank up that you can play in this deck because it has a dual utility. And you're going to be evolving this Machina into the Dark Strings just because it has a lot of attack, so might as well. It doesn't really do anything at the moment. This one, at least not this one. Yeah, now you detach very specifically the Machina to revive back the Cattle Scream.
Dark Strings, okay. This one we seem to already have here. Okay, when this card is special comes, okay, graveyard. Okay, so it's just for attack, right?
And now you're going to be overlaying for the Puppet of Strings, and since you summoned the rank 5...
Puppet of Strings. Crazy how many owns per turn you can detach from material from this card. Place 1 string card once per turn during the end phase. Okay.
Hyrix Seas, you can recycle back the Argent Chaos Force, so again, the fact that it was this rank of magic does matter. And you're going to be detaching a material off a Puppet of Strings in order to place a string counter on each monster on the field except this one. Okay. This is going to be important because when you're going to be evolving the Puppet of Strings into Dark Strings, you're going to be destroying, with its effect, every single monster on the field with string counters, and then you draw 1 card and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster with the highest attack that was destroyed. So in this case, 3,300 attack. It's kind of like the Gandora X Dragon of Destruction. So yeah, the Puppet of Strings, Dark Strings dies, and also in Shailing 2, the Machina is going to be reviving itself back on your field and then recycling back the Argent Chaos Force. So now you're going to be overlaying, evolving your Machina into the...
This is the other one that's new, right? So it needs 3 level 9 monsters. If this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Puppet Trap from your deck to your hand. You can detach from material from this card. Special summon a monster from either graveyard to your opponent's field in defense position. So that's nice, I guess, but only on my turn. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can target 1 of them, destroy it. If you do inflicted damage to your opponent equal. So this seems to be burnish,
Machina, so
kind of burn deck.
And that is going to be using its effect in order to search the Puppet service.
Serviced Puppet is the new trap. Target monsters your opponent controls up to the number of Gimmick Puppet XYZ monsters you control. Take control of them until the end phase. If you control a Gimmick Puppet XYZ monster except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 XYZ monster in either graveyard, special summon it to either field in defense. Okay, very complex cards, a lot of options. This is already clear.
This is not really relevant if you're going for the FTK. It's really just a backup plan when the FTK doesn't work because you can't always FTK. Like I said, this is not just a gimmick that only FTKs and does nothing else. Anyways, now you use the other effect in order to revive back the Dark Strings to your opponent's field, which again is relevant. You get advantage off of that. And you're going to be using the effect in order to destroy it and then burn your opponent for 1650. And then the effect of mention of the Underworld Dolls, the field spell, detach 1 material from your Xyz, and then revive back yet again another Gimmick Puppet monster in your opponent's field. So the Dark Strings again. And at this point, we can go link off into the Chimera Doll. This card is somewhat popular because it was played in Super Heavy Samurai.
This is also an old one, right? The Chimera Doll during a main phase. Oh, long text. During a main phase of this, if you control this link summon card, you can activate this effect. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck, except Machine. Also take 1 Gimmick Puppet monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Gimmick Puppet, you can special summon Gimmick Puppet monster from your hand. Okay, very strong.
With Albion the Sanctifier Dragon, yes, I know. It's ridiculous, like how the only Gimmick Puppet monsters that are known are this one and Gimmick Puppet Nightmare. Gimmick Puppet Nightmare is unplayable in Gimmick Puppet, by the way. It's not a real Gimmick Puppet card. The card actually sucks. Anyways,
interesting. So no Gimmick Puppet lock.
Either search for Foolish for a Gimmick Puppet monster, and then if the only monsters that you control are Gimmick Puppet monsters, at least 1, you're always going to have 1 because of Chimera Doll, you can technically special summon a Gimmick Puppet monster from your hand, but we're not going to be doing that because we want to normal summon the Terror Baby because it has a Monster Reborn effect only on normal summon, not on normal or special, so keep that in mind. So yeah, you want to normal summon it and then revive back the Bloody Doll, and this is level 4, but we want to make it level 8, and a good thing that we can do is use the Graveyard effect of Little Soldiers, banish it so that we can increase its level by 8.
We have read this before,
this can
yeah.
target up to 2 Gimmick Puppet monsters you control, so even if we add double level 4, then we can transform them both into double level 8, and then we can overlay for Giant Grinder, and up to twice per turn during your main phase 1, you can detach a material and then destroy a special summon monster upon control, and if it was an Xyz, you burn your opponent equal to its original attack. And since our opponent controls the Dark Strings that we were able to give him, with the mention of the Underworld Dolls, we can destroy it, burn for 33, and that is going to be game over. So 1 card is all we need. So it FTKs the opponent, draws 1 card, and searches the Service Puppet. So even if our opponent manages to survive somehow, we still have a card that can steal monsters or opponent control, equal to the number of Gimmick Puppet Xyz monsters, and we still have 5 other cards in our hand with a decent follow-up. So that's already pretty nice. Let's get into combo number 2. Alright,
okay, this is already crazy. Obviously, first turn kills are very crazy. Gimmick Puppet, a giant grinder. Okay, interesting. Okay. So obviously this is, like you said in the Konami just ruined Yu-Gi-Oh! This is obviously super bad, but I guess not something to be super scared of, because Konami definitely destroys stuff like this quite
so combo number 2,
fast.
my hand has little soldiers as well as triple tactic thrust. Very interesting because my opponent does not have any hand traps, and this thrust is going to be playable. So yeah, normal summon the little soldiers, and then foolish the bloody doll. We do not have the field spell, so we are going to be lacking the monster reborn effect of the underworld dolls for the final burn. So in other words, this card, little soldiers alone, is not FTK, but it gets you very
Like the
close
field
to
spell,
FTK.
okay.
And if you don't want FTK, then you can still put up a really nice board. Yeah, now we're going to be
So we first saw the FTK, now we see basically the normal
again,
endboard.
Machina, detach in order to surge the rank of Magic
Rank up.
and Chaos Force, and then evolve into the Dark Strings. Again, the very start of the combo is the exact same. Detach, and then revive back the Cattle Scream, Puppet the Strings, recycle back, and then place a string counter on it, and then summon Dark Strings number 2. And then Chilling 1, Chilling 2, so summon the Machina on your field, and then destroy the Dark Strings, burn your opponent for 33, and then evolve into the Fanatics Machina, search for your Puppet Trap card, and then detach, revive back the Dark Strings to your opponent. And this is where it gets nasty, because this card has a mandatory effect on summon to destroy every monsters on the field with string counters, but there's no monsters on the field with string counters, so nothing is going to die off of the Dark Strings, but our opponent still used a monster effect.
Okay, thrust is live
as
then.
Ken and Ken. So now that we can thrust, we can search our deck for terraforming. And terraforming is scary here because that means that we get access to the field spell, and the field spell means that we have access to the third effect, which is the really scary one here. The fact that we can revive back a Gimmick Puppet monster on our opponent's field, which is, again, terrifying here. So now we get a normal summon for the Terror Baby, and then revive back, and then the Chimera Doll can also search, so we're getting a lot of searches, and we're going to be going for the Dreary Doll, and then overlay for the Puppet of Strings, and then detach in order to revive back the Dark Strings to our opponent. And then our opponent has 2 Xyz monsters of 3,300 attack. This is looking very juicy. So we can go Little Soldiers, increase the level of Terror Baby by 4, so it's level 8. And then Dreary Doll, revive itself back. And I think you can see where this is going. Grinder, giant grinder. I'm feeling like lithium right now. Grinder
But this doesn't kill, right?
Destroy and then burn for 33, and then do it again because it's up to twice per turn. Congratulations, you are dead. I didn't even have to draw the field spell for that. I drew thrust.
Okay, so it was a first kill.
Alright, so if you don't draw the field spell, or if you do not draw thrust, can you still FTK? Can you still FTK? And the answer is yes, as long as you have combo as well as 2 extenders.
The interesting thing is, maybe it shows us in this video what this deck can do besides the FTK, right? Because what are you going to do if you can't? Like the stealing stuff here with the trap is obviously nice, but that's not like great.
8 extenders. It's still gonna work, but Machine Dupe is the only one that I could really think of that is just one single card. The other ones are always like 3-card combos. I wanted to show some 2-card combos just so that it looked physically better, but I don't necessarily recommend playing Machine Dupe in this deck because some of the best cards are not really Machine Dupe targets, and you don't really want to play more than one because...
Okay, I quickly have to check the card. This might seem crazy, but this is a very old card I have not seen in a long time. Target monster, machine monster you control with 500 or less attack, special summon up to 2 monsters from your deck with the same name. Okay.
They are admittedly bricks, unfortunately. It is sad to say. Yeah, Little Soldiers, again, sorry, Foolish, the Bloody Doll, and then recycle back again, reveal the Machina next, and then special summon the Cattle, overlay for the Machina.
Yeah.
It's always the same thing, the very start. Argent Chaos Force into...
But I mean... You can ash this obviously at this point here. You ash the soldier guy ascending the level 8. You can also ash the search for the rank up spell, which basically stops it then, or you imperm this if or Vader this if the field spell is not on field. So in a hand trap heavy format, you will probably not reach your full combo or your kill combo a lot, I would guess.
Dark Strings, and this is where it gets very interesting. So revive back, and then you're going into Machine Dupe now. So target the Bloody Doll, summon 2 more from the deck.
Okay.
And then overlay for Puppet of Strings, and you're going to be recycling back the rank of Magic Argent Chaos Force. The order here is actually very important. So yeah, now you place a string counter on everything, but you don't go into the Dark Strings yet, because otherwise we're going to be destroying your own Bloody Dolls, and that's not what you bloody want. So now you're going to be going overlay into Giant Grinder, and then into the Dark Strings, so that you don't destroy anything for no reason. And this time you're going to be summoning the Machina on your opponent's field, very important. And you still recycle back the Argent Chaos Force. You have to do it in this order, the spell card graveyard effect first, and then the Machina. The other way around does not work, unfortunately. Giant Grinder, destroy, and then burn your opponent for 15. Our opponent has 32. We only have to deal 1 final hit with a Giant Grinder. It's not too hard. So we're going to be evolving into the Fanatics Machina, and then search for the Puppet Trap card again. It's not really relevant. Revive back the Dark Strings to our opponent's field, and this is where it gets very nice as well. So Chimera Doll, search the Terror Baby, and then normal summon off of the rank 8 Xyz monster, and then revive back. little soldiers, increase the level by 4, go for the second giant grinder,
Okay.
and then burn for game. And just like that,
Crazy.
our opponent is dead without the need for the field spell whatsoever.
So the basic idea is crazy, yeah?
Alright,
The
so
basic
what
idea
you
is
do
crazy.
with one single card that isn't the field spell, and you have nothing else. You just
So this is
are
not
trying to
one
make a board
turn
because,
kill.
like I said,
Let's see
this
what
deck
the
isn't
board
just
is.
a gimmicky
Interruption.
FTK deck. It does a little more than that.
That's
and if you
obviously
know how to play
also
this deck correctly,
interesting.
it should really get you there, honestly. It's really nice and it's really consistent as well. So many one-card starters. I'm a huge fan. Anyways, normal summon the little soldiers and then Foolish the Bloody Doll for cost. I love this mechanic so much. Konami, I love you so much. But yeah,
It's for cost. Okay, yeah, then you can't ash it, obviously. I mean, you can. You can send one, this is the cost? Okay, okay, crazy. Okay, then forget what I'm saying, you can't really ash this.
anyways, recycle back and then...
No, you can't ash this at all. You just can't ash it.
Deal, and then special
Okay,
summon
crazy.
again. But it's going to be a little different than last time because, again, we're not going to be going for the FTK since we can't anyways. So Argent Chaos Force evolve into the Dark Strings. Even though the very start of the combo is still kind of the same, it's going to be different at one point. Yeah, Puppet of Strings, place a counter, and then Argent Chaos Force evolve into Dark Strings, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Machina, revive back, and then burn your opponent for 33 and draw one card. This is also relevant in case we draw something like disgusting like Mourner. Look at what you can do. I think it's actually really unfair. So now, overlay for the Fanatics Machina, search for the trap card, and then revive back the Dark Strings to your opponent, and then you can destroy it and then burn your opponent for half the attack of the monster that was summoned. So now we can burn our opponent for 1650, and our opponent has 3050 life points left. So we can put our opponent in a really bad position, and we can set that trap card and pass turn there. If our opponent summons a monster with over 2000 attack, the game ends on the spot. Look at that, okay? So our opponent is going to be summoning the Fenrir, and then we're going to be going Chainlink 1 Fanatics Machina to destroy the Fenrir, and then you burn our opponent for half the attack. And then Chainlink 2 Ghost Mourner, so that if it leaves the field, our opponent takes the full damage, and just...
Okay, but this is very specifically with Ghost Mourner, right? So this one burns for, I have to quickly read this again, this one burns for half the attack. Okay, so you would need to destroy like a 6000 monster. This is very specific, obviously. So you will not always draw into a Ghost Mourner or have a Ghost Mourner. But I mean, it's quite nice that you can put in a Ghost Mourner and have this potential here, because it's also a nice hand trap. Of course, in this format, but probably also in future formats, right?
just like that. 24, 1200, Merry Christmas.
Very
dead.
specific.
This is insane. Like, the fact that...
No, this is specific. This is not insane. This is just specific. And this will not happen in a lot of games.
Corner can help your FTK. Everything can help the FTK. It's insane. You don't always have to rely on the field spell. I love this deck so freaking much. It makes no sense. I keep discovering new techs every single time. Hand traps help you going second as well, but now even going first, this is just beautiful to look at. Alrighty, so what happens if we don't have the field spell and we just have a bunch of cards that look a little redundant? I mean, we've got Foolish Burial. The card says, send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. And then we got Condolence Puppet, which is send Gimmick Puppet monsters with different names from the deck to the graveyard up to the number of monsters your opponent controls that were special summoned from the extra deck, +1. So in other words,
so none.
0 +1, so it's a Foolish Burial.
Okay, 0 + 1,
Two
obviously.
Foolish
Yeah.
Burials, our opponent has Ash and Nibiru. What can we do? The answer is everything. We're in business, boys. It doesn't matter. So yeah, first play is Condolence Puppet. We can kind of bait the Ash, not that it matters. Let's say our opponent doesn't Ash us, then we can Foolish the Bloody Doll. And then Bloody Doll is going to be recycling itself. But you want to use the effect of Bloody Doll in the hand, because then if we get Ashed, we lose the game. We can't do anything. This Foolish Burial is not going to be doing anything.
You can ash after quickly. This guy's you can rerun in your special summon both one from your deck. Okay, so you can ash the Bloody Doll. Okay, interesting.
So now we've got want to go Foolish Burial, send the Terror Baby. And this card has the most convenient graveyard effect ever. You can banish it, and then your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your Gimmick Puppet monster's effects this turn. Konami...
It's like, how is this guy, the guy called the Dino, Misachieveless Dino or something?
about everything. So now when we go Exorcister Martha effect, our opponent has to let everything go. This is so...
Yeah, it's basically like a Martha, that's right.
Sick. So now we can special summon it alongside a monster from the deck, and that's going to be the Dreary Doll for next turn, for next turn, and then we can overlay for the Machina, and then search our deck for the Argent Chaos Force, count the amount of summons, so that's 3, and summon number 4 is going to be the Machina, and then that's going to be searching for the trap card, and for the first time, since we're not actually FTKing, this trap card matters, the fact that it actually does something, and before we end our turn, we're going to be using the Graveyard effect of Condolence Puppet, so we can banish it, and then target one Xyz machine monster we control. It cannot be destroyed by our opponent's card effects while face up on the field. That is permanent. It's not until the end of the turn. So even on our opponent's turn, this monster is still indestructible by card effects. That is kind of nasty. And then the Service Puppet allows us to target monsters our opponent controls up to the number of Gimmick Puppet Xyz monsters you control. Take control of them until the end phase. And it also has a Graveyard effect. If you control a Gimmick Puppet Xyz monster, we can banish it, except the turn it was sent to the grave, and then revive back an Xyz monster in either player's graveyard on either player's field in defense position. everything about this card is fantastic. It's also good for a follow play, but we have a guaranteed follow play in the form of Bloody Doll. When it becomes when it gets detached, is going to be recycling itself back to the hand, and then we can use the effect in the hand again and just keep playing the game. And then the next time we summon an Xyz monster, Argent Chaos Force comes back, and also the Machina comes back, and then recycles back the Argent Chaos Force again. So again, you can see where this is going, and we got the Dreary Doll. We've got a follow-up for days off of one single card and 2 interruptions, and Nibiru does nothing, and the Ash also does nothing. If you
yeah, but the board also does nothing, right? So it's nice and all, but this is a board that can take control of one of your opponent's monsters. I mean, obviously you have more cards in there, and that's obvious, and this might be hand traps, but yeah, this is not insane at all.
One single card to ensure that the Bloody Doll in a hand effect can resolve. So yeah, now we just passed turn, and we're going to be winning the game because our opponent can summon the Fenrir, and we can just go, nah, destroy that, and you take 1200 and win.
Yeah, of course. In this setup, you win the game.
Been called.
Sure.
Yeah, you can imagine just how unfair this deck is in time. You are never losing.
Yeah, in time.
It's a burn deck.
Okay, in time it's quite nice in time. You have very nice time options, but I think the full combo ending up on the one-turn kill is very interruptible at a lot of points, I guess. So.
Oh, yeah, you can deal damage during any phase. It doesn't matter. Anyways, that's it for the combos. Absolutely beautiful stuff, right? Let's get into the deck profile now, which might be even more beautiful. Alrighty, guys.
Okay.
So this is my deck profile. I'm not gonna brag or anything. I genuinely believe this is the best deck profile you can find on YouTube. Like, straight up, this is the only deck profile that is actually realistic to play in an actual YCS setting. I mean, we're playing 15 hand traps, 3 Nibiru, 3 Ash, 3 Mourner, 3 Veiler, 3 Imperum. So even for the far
which is more or less standard, right? So 12 to 15
decks at the moment, you can actually battle them with this with this deck list. We've got so many ways to stop them. The odds of drawing a hand trap are like 90% or something. But what
it's also nice that you can have the thrust in here together with the talents and stuff. That's nice, right?
Here. The reason why I'm really making a video on this deck, and the reason why I'm really hyping it up, and why I think it's
we won't look the whole thing here. I just want to quickly.
Is because it's more consistent than Snake Eyes, because it has 16 one-card starters in a 40-card deck list. We've got 3 Condolence Puppet, that's a Foolish Burial, it gets you to Bloody Doll, and then we got the 4 cheat cards, the 1-card FTKs. I mean, these ones are just way too good. You got like a 42% chance to draw any of these cards, and if you do, the game ends. Literally, it just ends.
Yeah, it ends if you don't get interrupted, right? So, more or less, I would say, right? I mean, you have to understand this one. Give once the control cannot be destroyed by or they're unaffected by opponent's activated non-express Z monster effects. Yeah, this is actually, so the field spell is really problematic, obviously, because you can protect from an Ash, from Nibiru, from Effect Veiler. So I think the biggest problem with this deck definitely lies in the field spell and the fact that the field spell is an FTK that protects itself, right? All the other stuff we have seen here that he showed us, not really that impressive, I have to say.
And then we got 3 Little Soldiers, also a 1-card combo, but it's not a 1-card FTK. Double Scissor Arms, it's a worse version of Little Soldiers, so 2 copies should be enough. And we also got Foolish Burial, which is another copy of Condolence Puppet. It's not
Mein Name ist Devin Schuller und das Buch ist etwas für dich, wenn du die Wege der Reichen nutzen möchtest.
Get rich quick, guys.
Redundant like this, because if you draw both Condolence Puppet and Foolish Burial, you can use both and then Foolish 2 cards. So the Terror Baby as well as the Bloody Doll, and then you banish the Terror Baby in order to make sure that the Bloody Doll resolves through an Ash, or rather around the Ash would not be able to be used for anything.
I mean, I like he shows it later on the video, I guess. Here, I like the cross out because you definitely need to be protected to get your first turn kill through. So let's wrap it up here because otherwise the video will be a bit long. So very interesting stuff here. I think the FTK with the field spell, which the field spell is very insane, protecting your Gimmick Puppet monsters from card effects, from activated card effects from monsters. This is quite insane, protecting you from hand traps, obviously. I think Yasin, a really nice video, shout out to him, great video, a lot of work he put in there, but I think it's a bit overhyped. He overhyped it a bit. I don't think this will be, this at least my personal opinion, I don't think this will be the craziest thing ever. Obviously the FTK is really insane, and the fact that you have the field spell also is. So can't this thing, like, isn't this like Ghost Ogre territory? Like Ghost Ogre, don't call me here, but Ghost Ogre is a card I have basically never used, so I'm not aware of what it does actually. When a spell trap is always someone activates its effect, quick effect. So when this card is activated, okay, so this, the Ghost Ogre doesn't work on the mention, because this is when it's activated, it will search, but then afterwards you could Yeah, but the protection effect is not an activated effect, right? So the Ghost Dogger is not that great against this one, because Ghost Dogger is quite nice against the Tempai Dragon stuff and their field spell. So this could have also worked here. But yeah, remains to be seen. I think very interesting, very cool. And I'm not as hyped as Yasin is, and not as convinced that this will be the best deck ever and as strong as Snake Eyes, because I think Snake Eyes game plan is better. We are talking like not ban list hitted Snake Eye, obviously, but yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you think of this. Very interesting. I like the artworks of the cards, especially the soldier thingy here. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is very OP? So don't get me wrong here, this is very, very strong, but I don't see it being like the next tier 0 thing, to be honest. But let me know in the comments what you think. Maybe I'm not getting the point here. I hope you liked the video. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for being here. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing, hitting the thumbs up and the notification bell. And we will see each other in the next one.